Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Noticed I have no makeup on. Usually I have like my intro done, hair's good, face is good, and like you see the end result before it even starts. Well, today I want to be just as surprised as you are because I'm going to do my makeup how I used to when I first started. So this was me like back when I had like every trend on my face, like sculpted brows, a wing, lashes, like to the nines, highlight, contour, like everything. I don't do this anymore. So I kind of want to see what it's going to look like when I'm all done. Like it's been a hot minute. And if you do your makeup like this every day, go you. I am not bashing it. I'm just kind of want to see. Because I used to go ham. So we're going to see. And I'm no beauty blender. I'm going to try and use some of the brushes and stuff that I used to use and the products too. So we're going way back. There is no Sicily powder in this video. So let's go ahead and jump into this and start with a foundation that really got me into makeup. So this is MAC Studio Fix Foundation, full coverage, you know, everything. This foundation really got me into makeup, and I say that because when I had it put on me at MAC, like before I ever really got into it, I felt so good about myself. Like my skin goes up and down, it has its moments, and it was really bad back then. So this, I just remember feeling like, oh my God, I just felt so much better. So we're gonna put this on, and I'm gonna put it on with a brush. I used to use this MAC 130, but like left-handed, this is going to take me forever, and I would never suggest somebody using this now. It's like good for contour and stuff, but this thing is tiny. So I'm going to use this one. I've actually been using this every day to put on my makeup. It's been helping me out because left hand, one hand problems. And this is the MAC 170, so I'm gonna pop this on with that. Oh, here's to hoping I don't break out because like this foundation didn't used to break me out, but yeah, it does now. I don't know why. I guess because I'm older. And if you can tell, like this is like a perfect color for me. So when I say I'm NC20, you can see it's like perfect. Oh, this foundation smells like paint. And you know, this used to be like really full coverage. I remember feeling like it was, but it is not. This is like medium. I'm sure I can tap it in, but yeah. There's definitely more foundations on the market now that I feel like are really full coverage. This is not. It does feel kind of thick though. Whew. This takes me back. Like the smell of this foundation brings me back so many years. Like you guys are probably like, well, Mel, you've been gone from MAC for about a year now. It's not that long. Well, I didn't wear this foundation. I always wore non-MAC, except for Studio Waterweight. I love Studio Waterweight. And I love the Pro Longwear Nourishing. Ooh, waterproof. But yeah, I did not wear this. Who remembers MAC Pro Longwear Concealer? Raise your hand if this was like your holy grail for like the longest time. I can't see you raising your hand. Comment down below. I used the shade NC15 because I wanted to be hella white underneath my eyes, and I used a MAC 286. Oh, when the Beauty Blender came out, it changed my life because this was never a good idea. I don't know why. I thought this brush was just like everything for under the eyes. It's not. Don't do it. It is streaky, and yeah. It's going to take me 30 minutes to get this blended out, but I put a ton of it underneath my eyes. I'm telling you, I wanted to be so white. Oh, and I have to do this because I did do this. Oh my God. I don't even remember the last time I did this, like in a video or anything. Oh, I want to take a beauty blender to this so bad. I'm like, tap it in. Oh. Like, no wonder my makeup used to take me an hour and 45 minutes. Like, holy crap. Just doing this alone. I know I'm using my left hand, but geez. The Beauty Blender would have done this in 10 seconds. Flat. Now it's time to set all the highlighted areas. And I used to go in with this powder. This is Studio Careblend. I know they were phasing this out. I don't know if it's still available, but I know they were getting rid of it. But this is the powder I used to use, and I would use a little sponge like this, so I'm going to do that and set everything. And this really would blur out my pores. Like, look how much smoother. Already done. But I would get so mad because I would want my under eye to be so bright, but I couldn't get it because there wasn't like an extra light of this powder. But don't worry. The amount of contour and bronzer I use and how I did it definitely made my under eyes look bright. I still think this is an amazing powder. I wish they didn't get rid of it. I feel like the next to nothing powder kind of took this one's place. Now this is going to be so satisfying for me because I haven't used this brush. I couldn't tell you the last time I used this brush. This, I used to call it the microphone brush, and it is really packed. It is the Sephora Pro all over powder, and it's the number 61, I think. Yeah, 61. I used to preach this, and it is a good technique. Don't get me wrong. I just don't use this type of powder anymore. If I was going to use a powder like this, this is the Mineralized Skin Finish in Light Plus, and I liked it because it would really pack on the powder and make a really smooth finish, but it is kind of cakey because it's a this is like a medium coverage powder and then almost full coverage foundation. I just don't put this much makeup on anymore. I would press this in and I would get like this flawless matte, like matte. You want to be matte? Use this kind of brush and a matte powder and just press it into your skin. You'll be so smooth, but so matte. I'm really not into a matte finish anymore, but girl, I used to be. It is hot in here. Okay, we got this, All right, this is terrible. This was the worst thing that I used to do, and I would go back to my old videos and see that my bronzer looked terrible, and you're about to see why. It's not the bronzer's fault. I still love this bronzer. I think it's beautiful. You have to like a warm bronzer. And this is MAC Give Me Sun. There's a whole lot of MAC. MAC is what really got me into makeup, but this is the problem. This is what I use to put on my bronzer because I kind of contoured with my bronzer a little bit and the placement was horrible. It was so bad. I realized when I started doing my makeup on camera how bad it looked, you know? And yeah, so we're gonna take Give Me Sun, and we're going to start buffing it into the skin with this MAC 190. And you would think, you need a bigger brush for that, don't you? Well, no, because I wanted to add on as much of bronzer as I possibly could. And I didn't want it to be blended out. I wanted it to look like this. I'm not kidding you guys. Go back. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not go back. I have started deleting some of my videos because I'm like, girl, we're putting them on private. Like my very first video I put on private. So I would just do these little circle motions, and I would want it to not go any further than that. It was so harsh. I'm gonna get it up here. This is a great brush, but it's better for contour, not for bronzer. Gotta go down the sides of the nose, because I would use this big old brush to do it. And yeah, we see what happens. And I always felt like there was never enough too. Like I always wanted more bronzer, more bronzer. I want to blend this out so bad, but we got to keep going. It is time for the blush. All right, so I'm sure you guys remember this palette. Let me know if you are somebody who's been following me for a long time and has seen the transition in my makeup. Please just comment. I love to know those things. So I always went in, like I was a Melba, gingerly, and peachy girl, like peaches. So this is peaches right here. Oh, but gingerly. I don't know which one to do. We're gonna go with gingerly because you guys know I loved gingerly. Let's do it. But I feel like that, no, when I first started doing my makeup, it was peaches. Gingerly was when I started to soften it up a bit, so we're gonna go in with peaches. When I worked at Belk, a Belk Mac, they used to call me the blush queen because mama put on her blush. I wanted you to see my blush. Now I use a powder, the Sicily powder, because I want everything to be blended and like just kind of see it, not like crazy. No, Back then, it was all about blush and bronzer and being snatched, but I thought I was blended, you guys. I thought I was. And apparently, a lot of other people thought I was too, because I used to get so many compliments. I also want to know who had this for their very first highlighter. MAC Soft and Gentle. I will never forget the day a highlighter was put on my face. When this was put on my cheeks, I about fell on the floor. I just remember thinking, oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing in the entire world. And I used to put it on with a MAC 159. And it is so glittery. Oh. It is not as blingy as I remember it being. Highlights have come a long way. And MAC has those extra dimension highlights that I'm so fond of. Love them. Girl. My contour palette, and I always used, before I realized what like Sculpt was this, this one right here, I used Taupe. Because contour is gray, right? So we want the most gray contour you can get. So we're gonna use MAC Taupe. What brush are we gonna use, you guys? None other than the NARS Ita. Okay, you're gonna get your cheeks like this and get it in. We want that line going, girl. That line, yes, that line. And I would, oh, I'm blending because I'm just pushing it up a little bit. That's not harsh. Not harsh at all. And like you have this, like my hair was always short when I worked at MAC. And I have this space right here. So I would try and take some of that. But it would never connect. I feel crazy. You guys can ask Kelsey too. This is what my makeup looked like. Gotta contour my forehead. Oh, don't blend it. I'm not allowed to blend it. This was what I did to blend. I took this brush. This is still a good method. You just can't have this much on to begin with. This is the MAC 187. Me and this brush go way back. And we're just going to take this and go all over my face and soften everything up. I really did do this. I had to wash this brush all the time because it was always crazy looking. So first off, I plucked the crap out of my brows. Maybe I should try to find some pictures. If I can find pictures, I'll have them like throughout the video. But my brows were not this thick because I wanted to draw them on. And they were filled in. I will tell you, when I first started makeup, like, it didn't last very long because I realized how idiotic I was. I took a black kohl eyeliner and did my brows. But Anastasia, I always used Anastasia color. This is Ebony. I used Ebony, and I used Ebony for a long time. This is why, like, if you go to my Instagram, there is a picture, and it's like my brows now. And Kelsey, like when I first started doing my brows this way, she was like, "Oh, I like your brows today." I was like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, they're not black." All right, woo, wish me luck. And I'm gonna speed through this because this is gonna take me a long time, but I used to line. I do a dang good line with my with my left hand and my black pencil here. So I did that, and then I was like, oh, we're gonna be natural up front. So I would start the line here at the top. And then we gotta fill it in. Yeah. But I basically didn't want to see any of the skin through my brows. But my saving grace was that I went back with the spoolie, and the spoolie would just fix everything, right? I mean, we just go in and we blend that out, and it just looks so much better. I thought it did. All right, I still do this today, but it's just the brows look different. But this is Soft Ochre Paint Pot, this guy right here. MAC, and my little Urban Decay brush, and I'm just gonna sculpt out underneath my brows and then fill in the entire lid for my eyeshadow. Alright, I am gonna zoom you guys in a little bit for this, but These were my shadows, like all the ones that I would typically use, and believe it or not, if I didn't have 8 shadows on my eyes, well then, did I even do an eye look? I was so extra. So I'm gonna use these. I will tell you what they are. I'm first going to set my eye with Blanc type. All right, first shadow, we're gonna use MAC Soft Brown. And I would use a MAC 224, but yeah, those are itchy scratchy. And so I'm using something close to it, and this is a MAC 42, I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna buff this all in my crease to set up for like the next 3 transition shades I use, because that was completely necessary. MAC 219, and I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to put it all underneath my lower lash line. MAC 217 and Saddle, and we're going to deepen up that crease even more. Same brush, and now MAC Brown Script. It was kind of like I wasn't sure or didn't know how to really just take a shadow and blend it up. So I would take a million of them and kind of transition them down. They would be so similar in tone too, and I just went in. Now I'm going to take Handwritten, and I'm going to put this on the outer V. You see how maybe the last shadow I used could have gone right here? And I even picked up a new 217 because when I first started doing my makeup, I used like at least 10 different eye brushes. I'm not even kidding you guys. Now I can do like an entire look with one brush. Give me one brush, I can do it. Now I'm going to take my NARS brush again, that's kind of like the 224, and I'm going to take Rule, and I'm going to put it right on this outer edge, because that's what I did. I always put Rule right out here. MAC 242 and All That Glitters, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. I feel like I remember the shadow being way prettier than it is right now. I mean, it's still pretty, but I don't know, I just remember it being like, oh, everything. You know, I know what the problem is. I've been using Natasha Denona too much. You are not satisfied with anything else after you use Natasha. MAC 217 and Brun, or Brun, whichever one you want to call it. Outer corner again, and then bring it up a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this eye looks good. You just don't necessarily need this many steps. MAC 228 and Nylon on this inner corner, and I wanted it to be so bright. I would just keep adding it and adding it. And also the top of the brow here. Brown Script, lower lash line. Brun or Brun on the outer corner here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner off camera because I have to get really close to do it with my left hand. I don't even know if I can do a wing, but we are going to try, that is for sure. So what I'm going to do is add on the e.l.f. liner. This is a cream liner and it's black. I used to use this all the time. And then I'm going to try to put on my MAC 35 lashes because me and MAC 35s go way back. All right, wish me luck. I'll be right back. All right, so I do not suggest trying to do lashes with your left hand. Like the liner was not too bad, but the lashes took me like 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding. They kept coming off. I was like, no, go back on. And then I went ahead and did my lipstick because I remembered how long that took the last time I tried to do a dark look. So this is Chili. When I first started wearing makeup, it was all about red lips. And even like any kind of other darker, more fun colors, I didn't really do nudes when I first started wearing makeup. I don't know why. I just wanted to, and I wanted to be matte. I always wanted to be matte. And I used Chili, Russian Red, and Lady Danger the most. I wanted to find Lady Danger, but I couldn't find it. So we went with Chili. Back up, let me look at it. I love this look with my hair. But yeah, the brows in person are way more filled in than what it looks like on camera. Like I think the light is actually allowing some of my brow hairs to actually show, but in person, these are way darker than I am used to. So just know it is a little bit of night and day. And I'm not mad at this. I thought it was going to be so much worse than what it actually is. It just takes me a long time, and I can't believe I used to put this much eyeshadow on. I feel like it kind of inspired me though. Like now I want to play a little bit more. Like maybe I want to do a wing again. Not all the time because I started this video at 11 o'clock. It is now 1:15. It took me a long time to do this makeup, and it used to take me that long back then. And you know, there were things I would change the brows. Obviously, I'm not mad at the eyes at all. I love this eye look. It's just, I could have done it in half the time, and I would never ever ever suggest using a MAC 109 to do your bronzer. Don't do that because it's a little harsh. Don't do that. Use a fluffier brush. It'll make your life easier. But yeah, I feel like I could put my Sisley powder over top of this and I would not be mad at it. I feel that's how this would go. But yeah, this was fun. This was my everyday look. Let me know down below how you used to do your makeup. And yeah, I love to hear, like, did you have horrible brows? Did you do like crazy eye makeup? What did you do? Let me know down below, and let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!